How you guys doing today? Today I want to talk about a topic that I get a lot of questions from every single consumer that I speak with regards to your debt in general. The question is, what debts should I pay first in order of most important to least important? So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Let's get right into it. I think there's like 10 debts that I have down here that I'm going to give you. We're going to rank them for the most important debts that you should pay all the way down to the least important debts you should pay. And I'll give some reasons with regards to that. Understand this is just my opinion. Obviously, some of these things may be shuffled or different in other people's eyes. But my eyes, when people come to me, if I'm looking at a copy of your credit report and I'm trying to determine what you should take care of first to the last thing that you should take care of, these are the options that I have. Number 1, back child support. The reason why I say you should pay back child support is this is one of the debts that if in fact it's not paid in a couple of states out there, you can actually go to jail, right? And it doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, I agree with it. A person who has back child support obviously can't afford it. Typically, that's the situation. I'm not on any side. I'm not taking no sides in this situation. But typically, the issue is they don't have funds to pay it. And they may be looking for work or whatnot. And then once you get behind, what ends up happening is then you can get locked up, and then you're definitely not going to be able to pay it. Or a lot of times they'll lock you up until you can pay the fees or whatnot. But back child support is the number one thing. If you have that on your credit report for majority males, but there are females out there that may have back child support, when you come across cash, pay that first. The second thing that I say is income taxes, right? As we know, if you owe on income taxes, it can put yourself in a very, very, very particular situation where things can be tough for you. Obviously, they can garnish your wages, do a bank levy, do all types of things with regards to getting the money from you. And a lot of times with income taxes, if you do owe back income taxes, you'll be surprised. There's programs out there and so forth that can help you, and you don't want that looming over you with regards to owing back income taxes. So make sure you pay your income taxes. That's the second thing I would recommend that you do. Number 3 is car title loans, right? Now, for those of you who don't know what a car title loan is, it's when you actually have a car. Typically, you don't. It's owned by you. It's not owned by the bank, meaning you're not paying monthly payments unless you have equity into that car. But nevertheless, you take your car, you basically give your title to a loan company. They loan out pretty much the value of the car or anything less, depending on what it is that you owe. And basically, you end up owing them for the actual loan that they give you. And as collateral, they take the title of your car. If you don't end up paying, because they have the title of the car, they can actually take your car back as collateral with regards to that. That's why those title loans are pretty prevalent out there. They don't necessarily base it on your FICO score because you actually have an asset there. But ultimately, they look at it, they evaluate the car and basically give you a loan based on that title, and they hold on to that title. But I say that that's the third thing that's most important to pay is because of the simple fact that if you don't pay it, they can repossess the car. Repossess the car makes it hard for you to pay your bills if you're commuting back and forth to work, and then that can cause a plethora of problems for you. So that's why I think that that's number 3. Now, moving on. Number 4, on your own car, owed vehicle payments, right? So let's say, you missed 2-3 payments with regards to payments on your car. One of the things is if you do have back payments with regards to that, and you're looking at the order and we're thinking, should I pay this credit card or should I pay these back payments on my car loan? The car loan is way more important. Pay those back payments on that car loan before you do anything else. As a fourth thing, going by that list that I've given you guys so far, make sure you pay that. with regards to that, because obviously similar to the title loan, your car can get repossessed, your car repossessed. I've seen it happen to so many clients. Next thing you know, you can't get back and forth to work, or you're trying to hide the car so that people don't come get it. You don't want to have to do that, so make sure you take care of that. Number 5, delinquent mortgage payments, right? Obviously, delinquent mortgage payments or delinquent rent payments are similar, right? The last thing you will want to do, one of the most important things, is making sure you have a roof over your head, right? You want to make sure that, in fact, that you have a roof over your head, right? You want to make sure that you can sleep and so forth. And by having delinquent mortgage payments, you don't want your house to, a bank to foreclose on your home and then end up selling it to someone else and you lose out on that home. So make sure you do that. Number 6 is default student loans. The great thing about now is a lot of people are in, what is it called? Not forbearance. That's on the mortgage side of things. But you're basically, a lot of people are not having to pay their student loans. One thing about student loans is they last forever. I've seen people owe 10, 15 years on student loans and they end up having to pay them. I know that after 7 years, I believe it does come off of your credit report, but with student loans, they're there forever. Right now, I know a lot of people are not having to pay the student loans, but once that does come back up, make sure you're making those payments with regards to that, because that's something that's going to stick around anyways, so make sure you do that. The 7th thing that I always state, I don't recommend people get payday loans, and I've worked in this industry on the collection side of things with regards to payday loans. And when I finally understood what actually happens with these payday loans, it is crazy, right? You basically get a payday loan. They call it a payday loan because you're basically getting some money in between time of being paid, right? Between, you've already been paid. Let's say if you got paid on the 15th, it's like the 20th, and you've taking care of all your bills or whatever the circumstances, you need some extra cash to pay something. Out here in the state of California, they'll give you about $350, and then basically you have to give them an actual check, a routing account number, a valid checking account, and then 2 weeks from that date or a month from that date, depending on what your contract is, they'll debit your account or ACH, take the payment that you actually, what you borrow plus some interest, and a lot of times that interest is pretty high. Now, what happens is a lot of people will give that checking information. They'll get that payday loan, and then the payday comes and maybe their check's a little less or whatever the circumstance is. That company hits your account, you get an NSF fee. They hit your account 2, 3, 4 times. Now you're owing $400 in fees from NSF from your checking account on top of the actual payment, on top of the late payment fees that they charge you with regards to that. So make sure if you get a payday loan, you pay those payday loans down. The 8th thing that I say that's important to do is medical bills, right? The reality is, making sure that you have insurance is probably one of the most important things. I know a lot of people can't afford it, but one of the main things that make people go through bankruptcy is medical bills across the board. So if you do have them, the great thing is no matter how large they are, a lot of times they're willing to accept payments on that medical bill. As long as you don't allow it to go to collections and you make your minimum payments, you'll be fine. But as soon as you late or you miss a couple payments or whatnot, they will throw that on your credit report. So make sure you take care of that. Take care of the minimum payments. Avoid it being placed on your credit report. The 9th thing that I always say is money owed to family and friends. There's nothing worse than owing someone with regards to taking a loan from someone and not paying them back, whether they're family or friends. That can cause all types of issues and situations. I've seen things escalate very, very seriously where guns are involved or jail time is involved. So if you're gonna borrow money, typically a rule of thumb, just make sure you can pay it back. The last thing that I say that you should pay with regards to everything is unsecured loans and credit card balances, right? Now, if you're looking at from 1 to 10, the stuff that I said that you have to pay, make sure you take care of those things beforehand with regards to making sure you're paying your bills. And then as a last thing, believe it or not, I say unsecured loans and credit cards, just because a lot of times with those types of loans, obviously you're going to have to pay it back, but There's a Goodwill letter that I have down for free. You can be late on those payments or whatnot. Across the board with regards to all of these accounts, I'm not saying to pay one and not say and just leave the other ones until you can actually pay it. Your best bet with regards to debt, if you can't actually pay it, is to contact the creditor and let them know. A lot of times they have all kinds, especially given due to the fact of COVID and so forth, and they know a lot of people financially are hurting. If you stay in contact with them, there's all types of programs out there that most creditors have that'll allow you to either skip a couple payments or whatever it is that you need to do with regards to the help. But if you don't contact them, you just allow the stuff to go delinquent, that's where the problem lies in. So contact those creditors and they'll definitely help you out with regards to that. Now, free 30-minute consultation if you're looking at building your credit. Allow us to help you out with that. Remember, you deserve to be approved for the credit you want and need. Allow us to help you with a great strategy with regards to that. And as well, down below, there's a lot of other free stuff, the Goodwill letter, the pay to delete, as well as the cease and desist, absolutely for free. Check that information out down below. Now, if you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great.